Hey, good morning. Jesus is Lord. I'm so thrilled that He is. The devil is defeated, and I'm thrilled that He is. And thank God the Word works, and I'm thrilled that it does. Glory be to God. I'm so blessed. Blessed. I'm talking about happy, fortunate, enviable, blessed. We're so blessed since we made Jesus the Lord of our life, and we begin to find out what the Word says. Now, in James chapter 1, it says, "Brethren, count it all joy when you fall into different trials, temptations." Now, how do you do that? Well, you do it because you know something. That's what it says. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith. Now, notice it's not the trying of you. It's the trying of your faith, because Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And according to Mark chapter 4, he comes to steal the word. But I got good news. We got a way out of it. I'm so glad that in 2 Corinthians 10:13, it says that there hath no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But, I love this, but God is faithful, who will give you the way of escape right in the midst of it. It's what it says. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted above that which you're able, but will make the way of escape, or getting out of it. Now, He's not going to let you be tempted till you're just pressed down, dear God, what am I going to do, and just barely get out of that thing. What you got to do is go to God at the first sign of that thing and begin to seek Him and ask Him how to get out of it. Now let's go back over here to James, because I want you to get this, because it's very, very important that you do it God's way and not the way you think it ought to be done. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, that is, you're in a situation where you're going through a hard time. Now watch this. I'm believing God. Man, there's some things I'm believing God for. I am pressing in, and it don't look like some of them's coming, but that doesn't mean it's not coming. It means I've got to ask God for wisdom. You, like me, are using your faith to change your body, maybe just to change your weight, or to change the way you look. You're using your faith to change your family, or you're using your faith to get enough money to pay your bills, whatever the situation is. And you prayed yesterday. I'm just making that up. And it didn't happen yesterday. Well, don't give up. Don't let it go. Well, watch this. It says here, let him ask in faith. In other words, faith doesn't take no for an answer. I'll back up a verse. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God to give it to all men liberally. And He doesn't withhold, or He doesn't come at you and say, I wish you hadn't asked that. He'll give you the wisdom, but you got to ask Him. And then watch this. You've got to ask Him in faith, not just kind of, well, I'm going to pray, and maybe we'll storm the gates of heaven. Now, I'm going to go back years ago when I was in the Methodist church. I pastored my first little Methodist church, when I was 19 years old. 2 years later, me and 2 or 3 other young Methodist pastors, we'd get together on Saturday night and we'd pray. I mean, we just decided to do that. I don't know what we did it for, but we'd just pray. We'd pray for an hour, sometimes 2 hours, but we wasn't expecting God to do anything. But we just pray and pray and pray. Or like the old-time Pentecostals, they say, we're going to storm the gates of heaven with our prayers. And they have a prayer meeting and they storm the gates. Hey, we're supposed to enter boldly into His throne room, into His presence. They're 1,200 miles outside at the gates of heaven, storming the gates, and God said, come on in. We've got to learn that faith is going to God, watch, believing to receive when we pray, and expecting God to show us what to do so that we can win in this situation. Now, 20 years ago, we had a Christian school, had not too many kids, little kids. We had a football team, had a football coach, had a basketball team, had a basketball coach. And it was that coach's job to figure out why they didn't win last week, and then take those little boys and train them. And we were the state champion in our league for years and years. And, our kids were 8th grade, 9th grade, little bitty fellas. And we were playing against some 250, 300-pound big old seniors. But our coach learned we're going to go in this thing and win. We're planning to win. and we always did, but we had to figure out what to do to win rather than just sit around and say, well, I did the best I could. Hey, them little guys, man, we only had like 14 players on a football team, and they had to play both defense and offense. They will be wore out, but they played their best and they always won. You've got to make an attitude that when I'm going to ask God what to do, He's going to give me the wisdom, and I'm going to get it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to win. Let me read it to you again. But let him ask in faith, watch. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. Woo! Nothing wavering. Let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave that's driven with the wind. Now, I'm blessed. I'm very, very blessed. I live on the lake, okay? Wind gets up, you can see those waves coming in. They just slap stuff. In fact, I'll tell you, they bring in some trash. Well, when the wind shifts, they take the trash back out there. Those winds are not in control. I mean, those waves are not in control. They're driven by the wind. And most Christians are not in control of their life. They're driven by the circumstances. You ought to be controlled by faith, change the circumstances, make a decision. I'm going to get the wisdom of God. I am going to win, and I am going to have to get out of here. Have a great day, and remember, all day long, faith always works. Jesus is Lord. Thank God the Word works.